What would happen if all of a sudden you didn't belong to any country? In the movie The Terminal, Steven Spielberg tells us the story of Viktor Navorsky, a man trapped in a New York airport due to a legal loophole. But beyond the comedy and drama, the film is a reflection on bureaucracy, human dignity, and resilience in the face of loneliness. The lead actor is the prodigious Tom Hanks, who has starred in famous films that have demanded his great talent, such as Castaway, known in Spanish as El Naufrago, and Forrest Gump, among others. This film was made in 2004, and to create it, Steven Spielberg was loosely inspired by the life of Mehran Karimi Nasseri, a man who spent around 18 years living in Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. Now, I invite you to analyze this interesting film, and at the end we will see what lessons it leaves us to reflect on. Victor is a passenger who comes from a country called Krakozia with a very important personal mission. However, upon arriving at JFK Airport in New York, he discovers that his country has suffered a coup d'etat. Due to this situation, the United States government does not recognize the new government of that country and invalidates Victor's passport, so he cannot enter the United States nor return to his country. Now Victor goes from being a tourist to being an invisible man. In the midst of his distressing situation, he encounters a man obsessed with rules and paperwork, a head of security who prioritizes laws over humanity and is, in some ways, cruel.
Okay.
In this image, Victor's disbelief, innocence, and surprise are masterfully reflected. Perhaps he doesn't fully understand what is happening. Now, Victor is not just a man trapped in a distressing immigration limbo, but he also has to endure a head of security who looks for the dirtiest ways to get rid of him, even going so far as to try to deceive him. This official becomes obsessed with Victor and takes the case personally. However, Victor does not fall easily into the trap. Certainly, his weakness is his limited understanding of English, but he is an intelligent, educated, and clever man, which allows him to make good decisions. With great cunning, he begins to study in order to better understand the people around him. With his simplicity and kindness, Victor challenges that coldness without any kind of violence. Victor was given some cards or vouchers for food, but he doesn't know how to use them, and no one is willing to help him. In a moment of carelessness, he drops the vouchers on the floor and a cleaning staff member throws them in the trash. So now he can't get any food. What is Victor going to do now? He comes up with a plan, reinventing himself as the fighter he is. He doesn't start thinking about begging for food like a beggar. No. He realizes that by collecting luggage cards, he can earn coins for food, and he gets to work. But once again, the head of security, a figure seemingly devoid of empathy and acting like a truly dehumanized being, meticulously looks for various insidious ways to deliberately get in his way, creating obstacles at every turn. This raises a profound question. Are Victor's inherently honest and straightforward ways of working, encompassing his unique language, his deeply ingrained culture, or his personal beliefs and convictions, truly insurmountable barriers to him successfully making genuine friends and forging meaningful connections within this challenging environment? No. Not for someone who is determined, not for someone who puts humanity above barriers built by society. There, Victor has to interact with interesting characters, airport workers. We have the case of Enrique, a Latino worker who seeks advice about love. There's also Gupta, originally from India, who lives on the margins but has a sense of humor and even the kind of paranoia that is common among many immigrants. We also have Dolores, the customs officer, a hardened bureaucrat who gradually softens, a girl who apparently forgot her roots. In that story, the pretty girl couldn't be missing, the unattainable Amelia. She's a woman who seems to have everything, but at the same time has nothing. And she has nothing because she isn't happy.
Oh my God, I truly can't believe you. Please stay far away from me, Victor, okay? I am feeling quite sick, and I really need some space right now. I don't have your ability to be alone for a second. Okay.
Victor is trapped in an airport and Amelia is trapped in impossible relationships. One has no options and the other doesn't want to take the logical ones. In the end, each one chose their own destiny. And finally, the day comes when Victor can move on.
What makes it incredibly easy to get into New York City and explore all of its diverse neighborhoods is the extensive public transportation system.
Or not. Why did he want so badly to go to New York to fulfill a promise he made to his father? He just wanted to get one last autograph from a jazz musician. For him, the cold rules were not an obstacle to keeping a promise. And there is Victor in New York. He didn't go to see the Statue of Liberty or the Empire State Building or the streets of Manhattan. He got the autograph he wanted and immediately took a taxi to the airport to return to his country. His victory was not about defeating the system. His victory was keeping his word. His victory was not letting the system dehumanize him. What lessons can we take from this movie? Many. We learn that we must adapt to the place where we live, to its customs, language, and laws. Also, to be creative, to reinvent ourselves. If a door closes, we go in through the window. Ingenuity will help us survive. An interesting lesson is that we should not let ourselves be shaped by social or cultural barriers. The fact that someone is different from us doesn't mean we are better or worse. It only means that we are different and that we can enjoy the variety. This movie also teaches us that we need to be realistic. We can't live on dreams halfway. We must be practical, analyze our options, and choose the best one, even if that means making some sacrifices. If you are a Christian, you may have noticed that Victor fulfilled something God expects from us, that we should be people of our word who keep our promises. In conclusion, The Terminal is not just a dramatic comedy. It is a parable about how human dignity can survive any confinement, even in the most impersonal spaces of the modern world. Viktor Navorsky reminds us that we are not just papers or passports. We are the promises we keep. We are the friendships we create. We are the humanity we share. In a world obsessed with rules and borders, The Terminal invites us to remember that the most important thing is still hope.